Hello, kindergarten. Welcome to your virtual art class. If you remember, my name is Marcel, and today we're going to finish our Square One art project. Marcel, that was so good. Thank you. Welcome. Wasn't he great? So yeah, today we are going to finish our Square One art project. We're going to look at Jasper Johns real quick and talk about how we can make our artwork really, really beautiful. First, before we get started, we are going to do our mantra in order to get us focused. Mantra. Yes, Marcel, the mantra. Repeat after me. I am an artist. I am an artist. I create with my hands. Well, I don't have any. It's okay. I create with my hands. I create with my head. I create with my heart. I can create anything. Cool. Let's get started. All right, friends. Let's look real quick at Jasper Johns and look at his artwork called Colorful Alphabet, which we are using as inspiration for our artwork. We looked at the different textures and the colors that are created by him. And we, in fact, are using our name rather than the alphabet. So, if you can remember all the things that you noticed about this, we're going to try and recreate those same ideas when we do our own beautiful work. Okay. So let's have a look-see. Here's the one that I started, and you can see I've added just a little bit more pizzazz here. I took some more, I took my crayons, and I just kind of outlined my name a little bit more, just in a few areas, just to kind of add some more interest to what was going on. So you can do that if you'd like, or you can keep it as it is. The one thing that I want you to understand is that we want to make sure that the letters are nice and bold and dark, all right, and that you've pressed pretty hard with your crayon, okay? So let's get started doing some watercolor. So you're going to need some water, and if you don't have a brush, you guys, that is a-okay. We have been using cotton swabs as paintbrushes, so that's a kind of a fun thing to do. And the other thing you need are some Crayola washable markers, and I'm going to reach into my organization box here and get out some of my markers so that I am ready to go. I put them off to the side. I'm just going to zoom out a little bit so you can kind of see my workspace. All right, here we go. So now I'm ready to start to do my watercolor. And remember, I used this white crayon to it's kind of cool. It's not kind of cool, it's really cool. You can draw on here. And what's going to happen, friends, when we go and do our watercolor, the wax is going to act as a resist, or it's going to push away the watercolor. So you'll see the beautiful writing that you did, and the watercolor gets pushed away from the wax. It's like a science experiment, kind of, because if you were to drop some oil into some water, you would notice that the oil floats on top of the water. It doesn't mix. The water resists the oil. Same thing here with our wax crayons and watercolor. Now, one of the reasons, friends, that I really love Crayola washable markers is because we can use them as markers, but we can also use them as watercolors. And I'm going to show you that in just a moment. Now, I'm not going to color the whole thing in red, all right? I'm going to show you why. I am going to color just little bits of it so that you can see what's happening. Now sometimes, friends, like with the yellow, you might see that it might get a little bit dirty. And when that happens, you know what I do? I just color a little bit on a clean sheet of paper, and that helps kind of remove any stuff that might be on there. You'll still see it there, but the inky part of it is gone. All right? So now, let me show you what happens when I add the water. All right? So I'm going to take my Q-tip, I'm going to dip it in the water. It's a little bit drippy here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start to paint with my cotton swab. And friends, look at what happens. I'm going to zoom in so you can get a better idea. Look and see what is happening here. The marker is turning into watercolor. It's kind of like one of those cool magical things that happens. And it could be an accident, like you could accidentally drop some water on a marker drawing one day and you'd be like, oh, I've made watercolor. Or you could do what we're doing. So I'm going to take a clean cotton swab here, and I'm going to do my A. Now the really cool thing is, friends, is that when you start going and start painting, what you might notice is that when things dry, you can add some more color to it. You can mix colors, but you have to wait for the marker to dry. All right, so I really want to show you this S because that's where I did one of the secret white marker colors. So what I'm trying to do here, you can kind of see I've stopped and changed colors. So I have a red here and a blue here, and I was going to use blue, but then I thought, well, then that's a lot of blue together. So I chose to use orange. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to color like I've been coloring. Just a little bit. And you know what? This is a great way to use up your Crayola markers. You can see how this one is starting to wear out a little bit. It's a great way to use them when they're kind of worn out. Now you guys, I'm going to mix some colors here. So I'm going to add some yellow to this area as well. And I'm going to show you what's going to happen. So here's my cotton swab, dipping it in the water, all right? And I'm going to start to paint. Look at how beautiful it is. Now you guys, look. Can you see what's happening around this S? I'm going to get some more water so you can really see. There's a lot of water on here. But look at how the water and the paint are moving away. It's like, get away from me. This is what I mean by a resist. The wax crayon is resisting the water and the watercolor. Isn't that just so cool? I think it's really cool. When I was a little kid, I used to write my friends secret messages with a white crayon, and then we would go over them with watercolor. It was a really fun thing to do. So I mentioned earlier that if you wanted to go back and add some color into one, like this red one, maybe I want to make it a little bit, I don't know. I want to add some blue and see what happens. So I'll put some blue on, just like that, just a little bit here and there. I don't want to color over the whole thing completely. I'll get my cotton swab, and I'm going to start to paint. And what's going to happen, friends, is you're going to see that there's going to be a different color mixing. So when you start to mix red and blue together, you are going to get, I'm going to add a little bit of red to this dry spot. You're going to start to get some possibly purple. Just like that. So there's my purple. Now you may realize that you might have too much water on your paper. So what you can do is you could have a paper towel ready so you could dab it up just in case you got a little cray-cray with some water. And so I'm just going to come down here. I'm going to do one more, and then I'm going to let you go and do your thing. And I'm going to add some blue so you can really see what happens here. All right. Every once in a while, I just like to take a nice new clean cotton swab. All right. So I can start. And there we have it. We got a good friend Violet showing up for the party. We got some blue and some red mixed together. And look at what's happening to the orange. Is like the orange crayon is like, excuse me, but you're getting too close to me. So it is resisting the watercolor. And there we have it. Friends, we are going to color this entire thing. We're going to paint this entire thing. I don't want you to leave any white spaces, except for the ones that maybe you've created with your white wax crayon, okay? But this is what it's going to look like. You're going to fill these areas in with your watercolor magic markers. It's going to be amazing, and it's going to be beautiful. All right, so let's end today by doing a mindfulness activity. I want you to sit quietly for a minute. And I want you to imagine that you're a cloud. You're just a cloud floating in the sky. You could be one of those big, white, fluffy clouds. You could be one of those wispy, blowy clouds. Just think about what kind of cloud you are. Maybe you're a dark gray storm cloud. And if you are, that's okay. Imagine your angry raindrops just falling away. Maybe you're a silly cloud made up of shapes like jelly bean or polar bear. Maybe you're a sparkly cloud that's filled with snowflakes. You can be any kind of cloud you want. So let's take a deep breath in. And let it out. Friends, I hope you have a wonderful day. And I cannot wait to see how your beautiful square one art pictures turn out. Please take care of yourself and talk to you soon.